Hey everyone, I'm Diana Davison. Breaking news this week. Jian Ghomeshi is a human being, not just a hashtag. So, 2 years ago, I did a series of videos investigating the allegations of sexual misconduct against Jian Ghomeshi. Jian had been a rising star as host of a popular show called Q at the CBC, who then became the focus of some rather shocking allegations of sexual abuse towards his ex-girlfriends. Dozens of women ended up adding their voices to the allegations, ranging from calling him a creep with cheesy pickup lines to accusations that he punched women in the head as some kind of foreplay. Unfortunately, most of these allegations were copy-pasta of something the women had read in the news before, yet all the allegations were presented as if they were unique. Every allegation that could be properly investigated, meaning cross-examined, fell apart in stunning fashion. When Jian finally got his day in court, the shock was palpable. All three women, whose allegations were deemed strong enough to meet a burden of proof, crumbled into embarrassing evidence that the women had lied, some having infamously pursued Jian after their encounter to a point that comes precariously close to having stalked him. These women weren't humiliated by a sexual attack, they were resentful over sexual rejection. And Jian was acquitted. One of the points of outrage was that he hadn't been forced to speak, meaning Jian never took the witness stand. And he didn't have to because the accusations had been decimated by evidence already presented in court. Basically, it was the legal equivalent of drop mic. Now, 2 years after his trial, Jian finally did speak. He wrote a personal essay published in New York Review of Books called Reflections from a Hashtag. And of course, people are furious. The title has been misnamed Reflections on a Hashtag, and the main point of rage is the claim that Jian somehow was taking credit for the current Me Too movement. But that's not what was said. And it's important to notice when the online rage is based on misreported news. Basically, we haven't even got past the title yet, and we already have journalists twisting the facts. The title is based on a line in Jian's essay where he talks about being turned into a hashtag. And that's just putting it mildly. Jian Ghomeshi was told by this mob that he doesn't even own his own name anymore. A dance production calling itself the Ghomeshi Effect claimed that his name was now a public conversation and therefore public property. And he didn't have the right to claim the name Ghomeshi or his identity as being his own anymore. Jian did, in fact, become a hashtag, with people putting hashtag Ghomeshi at the end of tweets talking about sexual violence in general, even when they weren't referring to him at all. So let us just agree that Jian saying he became a hashtag is an extremely accurate summary of his situation. In the essay, he tells us, "One of my female friends quips that I should get some kind of public recognition as a Me Too pioneer. There are lots of guys more hated than me now, but I was the guy everyone hated first." This line, one that I'm not too fond of, has been twisted to claim that Jian tried to take credit for the Me Too movement. I'm not fond of the line because, to be frank, I'm getting sick of hearing the words Me Too. But I think it was a really good thing for Jian to share. And this is the infuriating part. A female friend said this to Jian, and the hate mobs erased the voice of the woman in the story. Jian didn't claim to be a Me Too pioneer, yet according to the headlines all over mainstream media, that's what he's being persecuted for. He's being accused of erasing women's voices and talking only about himself by use of a line in his story that actually was the voice of a woman. Even further, this anonymous woman is being accused of not being funny. Well, women have historically fought against the idea that women aren't funny. Here we have Jian giving a platform for a woman to make a joke, and apparently women are enraged by it. The hypocrisy and endless hoops this hate mob sets should not be ignored. When you read what Jian wrote properly, what we have is a woman who sees the Me Too movement as an ever-shifting onslaught of hatred, just moving between targets and growing in unfocused rage at every step. This woman is still his friend because she knows that what people are saying about Jian isn't grounded in reality, and she's trying to help him find humor in the situation. Jian presumably shared this with us because he's the butt of the joke, and he's trying to let us know that he can be self-effacing. Jian is not erasing women's voices. The media are. What we need right now is not virtue signaling, outrage, or support. What we need is an actual conversation, and that's what Jian has offered us with his essay. I'm going to link to the article below, and I invite people to actually think about what he said in his essay before attacking it in future. This is just the beginning of what I have to say about Jian's article and why people should be thankful that he wrote it. More videos to follow soon.